Reframing Mindset podcast, where I clear my head of the thoughts that are preventing clarity, practice my speech, among other things. Episodes range from informative knowledge to funny stories about my experiences, and in the future, maybe include interviews. So subscribe and enjoy. Episodes drop every other day. Okay, welcome back to Reframe Mindset podcast. My name is Concept. So this episode I talk about car shopping. So I talk one of the previous episodes I talk about window shopping. Yes, so this is the window shopping for cars. And it actually makes sense now. I actually did it in the past, and what happened was that they will quote me these prices, and back when you're not employed and what when you're not employed, these prices are so ridiculous. Makes no sense. You're wondering how the hell are you going to reach that? And you're looking at all these people require wondering how in the world they get to that point. So now that you're employed, it's not like the price suddenly becomes within reach, but certain things change. So, for example, right now I have my driver's license, going to do the refresher, driving lessons and stuff. So I kind of have the driving thing in mind. So what I can actually do now is just basically go and look at and boom, I'm employed. So I can actually go and just look at the prices now. And then I told that I could test drive the cars, look at the different specifications, and also other. So be one of those car nerds, person that knows every specs or everything about the car. That actually makes sense for me to do it now. Cause that's the thing now. There's nothing just like everything else. Being being you want the best car, want the best degree or everything like that. It makes sense, but it makes you can't just become it before you become it in the sense that if you're going to school, you want to focus as much as you can to get in school to get the best grade. And when you actually focus enough and understand the concept, then you can actually do enjoyment on the side. So that's the thing where you put in the hard work now, you can enjoy yourself later. You can basically just do that, and you focus. So boom, put in the hard work, and then you can be lazy, um, multitask, all this stuff. But you have to actually put in the work and understand the concept. Same thing now. You want buy a home. When you buy a home, to focus and you focus on getting a home, then you focus on dreaming about what the home is. And you basically home shop, look at a different home, look at the home that you grew up in and all also look at how you improve it and all these things. And to visualize all these stuff before it happens. I visualize all these stuff before it happens. If you actually listen way back. So now in my third year of home ownership, but all these visions and stuff that I did to improve the hope was manifesting. And then what happened was that I was thrust into the first year of home ownership and I wasn't ready. Or I wasn't it didn't happen the way I would planned it. What happened was that because of those previous study, previous imagination and manifestation, I was just it's got ready to just take up the task and then boom, now I'm in the third year. And that's still progressing, still progressing. Same thing with the car thing now. So boom, you have a driver's license. You are somewhat fresh on the driving, talk to the drive and stuff. What you can actually do now is actually go to the different car dealership now, look at the various prices and all those things. Because what I realize is with the car prices and everything, you will not. What will happen is that you will more likely a loan will be involved, maybe, maybe not. But what will happen is that eventually somehow you'll be thrust into a car and you will just be in the car. You just boom thrust into a situation where you basically have to use a car. And then what happened was that if you did not have these preparation, car shopping, looking at all these stuff, and all these things, when you're thrust into that situation, then you're not ready. then you're not ready. And so basically right now what happened is that when you get all these stuff, car shopping now makes sense. So that happen now is that you when you're making income, you know how to actually divide up your income to say, okay, this will be about car payment and all these stuff. Not to say you could actually do it then, because not only that you're looking at different cars. Maybe a dream car. So and that's the thing about next thing about car shopping as well. Car shop to look for a dream car to look. So I had the idea or the manifestation, but no, I can actually go there and look at it. I actually can't go there and look at it now because it's not within my reach. But I can actually go there and look at different cars, the other cars that would have been high ended and be like, okay, those expensive cars that and then look at it, study it and understand the different specification. What makes a car good, what makes a car not good and all those stuff. And then that would compare to my dream car. I say, okay, this and that and then boom. What will happen is that eventually I buy my first car. And what will happen is that that may not be my ID car, my dream car, but it's a car that basically transports me and then increase my ability to do a lot of stuff. Not only that, because I bought it, I will make it. It will be if I actually purchase it, it would actually be a more informed purchase. So it would be like, okay, when I buy it, I can actually tell her why that car is good. I be someone that not in a situation where I didn't get where I didn't buy it. It was basically just given to me or something like that. Me going and doing all this car shopping, I actually can just go and look at the car, look at the different things to know what is good or bad about the car, and just work with it. And that's the thing now where that's the level of access you actually do now where productive car shopping. So that's the thing now, window shopping. There's unproductive window shopping and there's productive window shopping. So now this is actually a productive window shopping because you have your license, you are fresh on the wheel, you're employed, and in a situation like me, boom, I've gone through the practicals driving part, so one that I've actually been driving now in my work. So that now actually becomes more legit now. So that's the thing. We're anticipation now towards the car ownership, doing all the pre-planning for it. So that's basically it for this episode where basically saying that car shopping eventually will come. And that's the thing, sometimes when you're a kid as well, when you're a child, it's good to also car shop as well because what happens is that we have all the time in the world to actually do those car shopping. And then what will happen is that unlike you'd be at the head of the game because it's not like I actually look at the cars when I was younger and be like, all those stuff and be like, my car. But it was just playful. I never understood anything about the car. And then I was, a basic information. But eventually, you're a kid. Eventually, you forget about those stuff because boom, it's not yours. It's not yours. If you get about it and then focus on the stuff that you own, and then eventually, no, you're actually an adult now and then you can actually go out and work for it. So not only you can go out and do the research, you can actually write down the information, store it somewhere, know what, and then what means that over time, the more and more you go on the car shop, eventually you know everything about a car, eventually everything, and then not only that, when the new car comes out, you see a new car ad, you basically look at the car and be like, okay, I know, I'm just listening to the ad and be like, okay, that's what I need to look for. That's what they say about this car. And be like, alright, okay, that's a good car. and all those stuff. So that's the basic thing about it now where car shopping now becomes more productive. No, I haven't started doing it as yet, but knowing that it's possible now, eventually soon. either this month or it's starting up next month. You look at me actually doing those car shopping. So, look out, and then you never know. Maybe by the end of 2024 or the start of 2025 year, like, oh my God, fourth year car ownership. Oh. All right, so thank you for listening. Look forward for the next episode. Mhm.
Well, this is the end of the episode. Thanks for watching and look forward for the next episode. To support this podcast, go to anchor.fm/cssb/support or become a sponsor for this episode. If you have a product that you want to have more exposure, DM me on the Instagram page Reframing Mindset Podcast or on Twitter at ReframingP. Either way would help. Thank you regardless for listening, and here's a preview for the next episode.